Alright guys, hey, I know we weren't able to finish the buttercream in class, so here I am making it. So first I'm going to add the dry ingredients. So here I have 1 pound of powdered sugar, okay, so confectioner sugar. You should use the C&H brand or the 6 times. You do want to make sure you sift that too so that you don't have any of those little granules in there. Okay, secondly I'm going to add my meringue powder, and you do want to make sure that it is a level tablespoon, so you can see it's not heaping, it's a very level tablespoon of meringue powder. And remember, our meringue powder is just pasteurized egg whites, right? So I'm just going to give that a mix, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and add our wet ingredients. Now for our wet ingredients, we are adding our 1 teaspoon of flavoring. In this case, I'm using vanilla extract, but again, you can use any flavoring you'd like as long as you keep the proportions the same. So you can use vanilla, you can use almond. There's all sorts of goodies now that you can find readily available in any supermarket. Peppermint, orange. You can use any of those as long as you keep the amounts the same, right? Alright, and then I'm going to add my shortening, and that's 1 cup of shortening. And I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's a little bit difficult, so let's see if it comes out for me. So basically I just put my 1 cup of pure white vegetable shortening, right? That's usually Crisco. Alright, so now it's lastly is our 7 to 8 teaspoons of water or milk. Now when I do add that, it doesn't really make a difference which one you use. I tend to use water for class, like I mentioned before, because it's easy for me to travel with, but you can use milk, it's fine. It gives the buttercream a slightly creamier texture. Alright, so that is actually 7 teaspoons in there. And I'm going to start with the lesser amount so that I can see if I need to add a little more, because remember, the consistency is key, right? Ooh. Hold on 1 second. So I just had to put something on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix it. And we should see it start to come together. I'll take off the lid once you start seeing it come together. Okay, so this already looks like I'm going to add an extra teaspoon, but you can see how it's coming together, right? It sort of looks crumbly, a little bit like cottage cheese, and then you do end up mixing it and it comes together. So I'm going to pause it for just a second. And if I lift it up, you do see that it is coming together, right? But it's a little stiff. You can see it's not very creamy. I'm going to go ahead and add that extra teaspoon. Okay, and I'm just going to scrape my sides here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add my teaspoon. I sort of made a little powder mess here. But baking gets a little dirty, right? Alright, so I have 1 additional teaspoon in here. So I'm going to actually pour that right in. And you will see that it makes quite a difference. Just that 1 teaspoon. And sometimes we do need a little bit more. Sometimes a little less. Just like I mentioned, it'll depend how warm it is outside, how warm it is in your kitchen. And that should do it actually. So you can see it's a much different, right? It's much creamier consistency. Okay, and I'm going to actually lift it up again because it's sticking to my beater here. Oh. There we go. And then just kind of scrape my sides in here. And for this, I know with when we make other icings, I'm telling you to mix it for a specific amount of time. With this, it's not necessarily, it doesn't need to be mixed for a specific amount of time. It's just until it comes together. I just do want you to see how very creamy it is, excuse me. As I mentioned before, I do want you to use the class Buttercream for class because it is very consistent, right? So you can see without much effort at all, I'm just giving, you know, with this spatula here, I'm able to smooth out pretty well. You see that? Okay, so it works really well. It's nice and creamy for us. So this is the recipe, okay? So just like I said, it's just straight from the book. We're just adding 1 cup vegetable shortening, the 1 teaspoon flavoring, 7 to 8 teaspoons of milk or water, 1 pound confectioner sugar, and 1 tablespoon meringue powder. All right, so good luck, guys. If you have any questions, just give me an email.